Welcome to Unstitching ADHD Urban Ed Talks. I am your host, Dr. Stanley Ekio, a dedicated educator and behavior analyst with over 20 years of experience supporting students with diverse needs, especially ADHD. Throughout this podcast, we will embark on a journey through the intricate world of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, often referred to as ADHD. I invite you to join us for enlightening conversations, practical strategies, and authentic, heartfelt stories within our urban educational system. Whether you are an educator, a parent, student, or someone simply navigating life with ADHD, this podcast is tailor-made for you. Together, let's explore how urban environments impact ADHD management. From the bustling city streets to our school systems, we'll uncover opportunities and challenges, offering expert advice, real-life experiences, and research-based strategies for navigating ADHD daily. So subscribe, share, and become part of this community as we all unravel ADHD complexities, one thread at a time. Thank you for tuning in. We all love children. We want them to be active. We stumble on their toys. We repeat ourselves. They interrupt our conversations. They drive us nuts. But we do it anyway. We are excited because it's a teachable moment, and also there's an expiration date. And even for the kids, someday they want to look back and say, Mommy, Daddy, that was not me, you're making it up, right? Mm-hmm. But for 6.1 million children diagnosed with ADHD, according in one of the National Survey of Children's Health, 2016. It never expires. It's persistent. It's continuous. According to the CDC, it impairs their social, emotional functioning, academic functioning. So they cannot really function in school, which most times lead to behavioral challenges. And how do we take care of it? Punitive measures. And those punitive measures, most times, exacerbates the situation. What does ADHD look like? How does it feel? Let's try to dramatize this. It's like a traffic in a four-way corner without a traffic light. Thinking of YouTube, you want to do this, you want to hold this, you want to touch this. It's just going all and round. I want to take you further to my passion, the topic of my leadership journey, the passion of why I do this. The Ferrari engine, if you remember, with the bicycle brake. With a show of the arm, how many of you have ever been given the responsibility to take care of kids? You put them together, you set them, you get them engaged, right? And all of a sudden you need to step out and you come back in a few minutes and there's one of them running all around the place. How many of you have seen that situation before? I have. My requirement. I will get my kids together, everybody set, and nature calls, and I say, you know what, just a minute, let me just, by the time I come back, Requan is all over the place. Requan is all over the place, and I'll confront Requan. And Requan will say, it's not only me, why are you picking on me? But I'm seeing Requan. How can somebody is lying. And my eyes, obviously, are good enough for me to know I'm not lying. So it means Requan is lying. And I always tell him that. But I want you to think for a minute if Requan wasn't lying. Because I found out that what was happening was that Requan was my typical, he had ADHD, Ferrari engine with a bicycle brake. While the rest had the Mercedes and the Mercedes brake. So when they hear my footstep, you know what they do? They apply their Mercedes brake, and like the Mercedes, it comes to a full stop. And they're like this. But Requan is trying to stop the Ferrari, but the car is going. He has the bicycle brake. I'm right in front of him. He's making every effort to stop that car, but he cannot. What am I seeing? Requan being defiant, and Requan being the person that is doing the wrong thing. Now you wonder, how can you take care of this? How can we fix this? You don't need to be a psychiatrist. You don't need to be a behavior analyst. You don't need to be a psychologist. I take you back to the proponent of that Ferrari engine and bicycle brakes, Dr. Holloway. Himself an ADHD patient coupled with dyslexia. And most ADHD patients have the comorbidity too with other disorders, right? All it took is first grade teacher, Miss English, and some good teachers that put their hands around him, took the stigma away, took the fear away, told him it's going to be okay. And they did unleash the power of that Ferrari engine. And you know what that did for him? He graduated from Harvard, went to Tulane, became a medical doctor, a psychiatrist, a renowned expert in ADHD. And today what is he doing? Helping people, adults, individuals with ADHD. Remember my Gmail. The streets are designed for kids with ADHD. Impulsive. You can shoot before you think. You can cuss out people before you think. You can take any risk before you process it. Right? So the streets are taking them. I have vowed in this my journey to do everything I can to make sure I don't have another Gmail in my hands. But to have kids that 62 years later will say, Mr. Ekio took the fear out of me. Mr. Ekio took the stigma out of me. Mr. Ekio put his hands around me and unleashed the strength and the power of my Ferrari. And here I am trying to reach out to the world. What are they asking from all of you? Something you all have in abundance. Very simple. Awareness, empathy, compassion. Thank you very much.